Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Monday, November 13th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Americans killed in the Mediterranean. Stray bullet killed a college student. 4 officers in one day. And marches across Europe. That's all coming up. Then Bill will be here with your message of the day. First, 5 Americans were killed in a helicopter crash Friday night after their helicopter had a, quote, mishap during a training exercise, crashed into the eastern Mediterranean Sea. There were 5 Army Special Operations soldiers. Search and rescue efforts went into Saturday before being called off. The crew was part of Special Operations forces that were sent there to be in place if they needed help evacuate American citizens from Gaza. There are 9 Americans that are still held hostage. A college student in Nashville, Belmont University, was walking down the street when she was hit in the head by a stray bullet. Police found the guy who fired the gun. He was shooting at another vehicle. He was most recently arrested in September, charged with felony auto theft, released on $20,000 bond. Missed his court appearance, and the court issued a failure to appear warrant. That wasn't enough. The 18-year-old parent said, "There's a piece of my heart that was taken from me. You were just so loved and so missed, and we're so proud of you, and you put a lot of living into your 18 years. 4 members of the LA County Sheriff's Department, one of them recently retired, all committed suicide within 24 hours in completely separate incidents. One former officer said, "It's kind of like a pressure cooker. If you don't slowly let go of that steam little by little, when it does pop, it's over because it's going to be such a big explosion." That officer who said that was one of the first officers to respond to the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. He tried to commit suicide twice. One of the officers that did take his life was also one of the first officers at that Pulse nightclub shooting where 49 people were murdered. This other officer said that many police officers are afraid to bring up any PTSD issues for fear of getting fired, so they don't release that steam in the pressure cooker. Across the pond in Europe, it's always hard to gauge numbers, but Armistice Day was in London, the day to mark the end of World War I. 300,000 pro-Hamas or pro-Palestinian protesters marched through London. But take heart, because in Paris, 100,000 people and 100,000 more across France showed solidarity for Jews in their country and Israel in a march organized only 6 days before. I'm Mike Slater, Bill O'Reilly with your message of the day. Next.
Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Monday, here is a provocative question for you. If you get fed up with the USA, if you cannot live here any longer for a variety of reasons, where would you go? So if you look at the world map, you can't go to most places. They're too dangerous. You have to go to some place that would provide security and order, unless you want to put your life in danger. So the continent of Africa, for example, is out. Most of South America, much of Asia, you just can't go there. So let's run it down. Americans have a lot in common with Canadians. So living in Canada wouldn't be that much of a cultural change, although it is very cold up there despite global warming, and the opportunities are far less in Canada than they are here. Mexico, forget it. You go to Mexico, anything can happen to you at any time. How about the Caribbean? Well, again, very hot and humid for a long, long period of time. Bahamas is very close to Florida, and it has tax advantages. Bermuda, extremely expensive, nice place to live, not far away, but you got to bring a lot of money. Europe, well, maybe Ireland for me and maybe your ethnic country for you, but Europe is not easy. So summing up, USA, probably your best bet. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Now let's go to the mail. Dr. Richard Mancuso, Riverview, Florida. Bill, it's rare I disagree with you, but the Republicans shot themselves in the foot with the Supreme Court ruling against Roe. To make matters worse, some red states are restricting abortion to an unreasonable degree. Well, number one, Republicans didn't have anything to do with Roe v. Wade. That was a Supreme Court thing, and politics did not enter into it, doctor, so we do have a disagreement there. I don't know about shooting anybody in the foot, but there is an element when you get into rape and incest that's unreasonable. I will agree with you there. Mike Critaro, Canastoa, New York. This country is not strong enough to do what is hard, like JFK said at Rice University in 1962. Only pain and suffering will wake people up. Bill, you might be packing your bags for Ireland. Not yet. This country, look, my own experience is I live on Long Island, which has gone red from blue. If it can happen here, the center of the media in the world, and all the corruption that comes along with the media, it can happen here, happen everywhere. Maybe not California. Lloyd, it was better that Corinne Jean-Pierre gave the answer she gave instead of the one Wisconsin native suggested. We're talking about Tlaib, I guess, because it showed her heartlessness. Pierre tried to appease both the donors to her party and her left-wing flank. You know how I feel about the spokesperson for the president. In a moment, something you might not know. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. There is no more contentious piece of real estate on earth than the nation of Israel. For thousands of years, different religions, races, ethnic groups have battled for control of the Holy Land. Here is the complex history of Palestine. According to the Bible, the deity, that's God, promised the area to the Jewish people. In Genesis, God tells Abraham, quote, "The whole land I will give as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you," unquote. Archaeological evidence shows Jews residing in the region since the Bronze Age. The land was then conquered by the Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, and eventually the Romans. In 635 AD, the Muslim army, under the command of the father-in-law to the Prophet Muhammad, invaded Jerusalem. For the next few centuries, the Middle East underwent a bloody conversion to Islam. Nearly all Christians and Jews were expelled. Beginning in the 11th century, the Catholic Church launched a series of crusades to reclaim the Holy Land. They were largely unsuccessful. The Muslim Ottoman Empire assumed control until World War I. After that conflict, the League of Nations ceded the territory to England in a colonial ruling. Under British rule, thousands of Jews returned to the Middle East. Following the Second World War, the United Nations adopted Resolution 181. The proposal partitioned Palestine into two separate states, one Jewish, the other Muslim. The Arabs immediately rejected the UN plan. The Nation of Israel was formally established on May 14, 1948, and admitted to the UN as a full member 1 year later. And here's something else you might not know. Jerusalem remains the most fought-after place on earth. Since the Roman Empire, the city has been completely destroyed 3 times, attacked by foreign armies 76 times, and captured 44 times. Back after this. If you or your business is falling behind filing your tax returns, or if you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The Biden administration just unveiled an $80 billion plan to modernize the IRS and reduce the unpaid tax debt. Are you tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments? You do not have to face the IRS alone. Hire Anthem Tax Services. They can help you settle your delinquent tax problems and all collections, and may even be able to reduce your back taxes significantly. If Anthem Tax Service cannot reduce your current monthly payment with the IRS or state, or they don't put you in a better position, you might qualify for the 100% money back guarantee. Please call Anthem Tax Services 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.